It says in prophecy that he would be called Emmanuel, God with us. And that's how it was in the beginning. God dwelled in the garden with Adam and Eve. And in Revelation, we read about dwelling with God again. And in the middle is this gross sandwich innard that is a broken world. While we're here, keeping our eye on how it was meant to be and how it will be is where true riches come from. Hey guys, it's Greg Dean with the Joyful Giving Podcast, and today I want to chat just a bit about what it means to be truly rich in kingdom terminology. We know what it's like to be rich. Well, we don't necessarily know what it's like, but we know what we mean when we say rich in our very fleshly world that we live in. We mean we have a huge bank account, a big 401k, a large multi-thousand square foot house, a couple of cars, kids going to Ivy League colleges. But is that how God sees rich? Or is he thinking something very, very different that might even hold the key to the true joy and contentment and love of life, joie de vivre, that we're actually looking for? Let's look to Scripture. Let's start in James 2:5, where it reads, "Listen, my beloved brothers, has God not chosen those who are poor in the world to be rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he has promised to those who love him?" And if we read in 1 Timothy 6:17 through 19, it reads, "As for the rich in this present age, charge them not to be haughty, nor to set their hopes on uncertainty of riches, but on God, who richly provides us with everything to enjoy. They are to do good, to be rich in good works, to be generous and ready to share, thus storing up treasure for themselves as a good foundation for the future, so that they may take hold of that which is truly life." So that they may take hold of that which is truly life. Perhaps we've been duped. Perhaps we've grown up in this Western economy and thought the whole purpose of life is to accumulate and consume and then die. Goodness, when I say it that way, that sounds really ridiculous, doesn't it? If our sole purpose was to accumulate, earn, spend on a bunch of stuff that moth and rust will destroy, and then die, wouldn't that be sad? That would be such a waste of the gift of life. But God has something very, very different for us, right? God, who richly provides us with everything to enjoy. Perhaps thinking about his economy versus the economy that we tend to depend upon is the way. And who is the way? Jesus, the way, the truth, and the life. So might he not have the way that we're looking for? What is it to be truly rich? If we're looking at it from Jesus' perspective, he had no home. He had nowhere to lay his head, although foxes have holes, right? And birds have nests. He didn't carry things with him, ever. He actually depended on the Father to provide what he needed every day, and then preached to his disciples, his apostles, to do the same. In fact, when he called them to go out, he said, "Don't carry anything. Don't bring food for yourselves. Don't bring a change of clothes. Don't bring money to get a room in an inn. Just go and trust that God will go before you. He will provide." So what is it to be rich? To be rich is to be fully in proximity to God. What do I mean by that? From the very beginning, it was about God with us. It says in prophecy that he would be called Emmanuel, God with us. And that's how it was in the beginning. God dwelled in the garden with Adam and Eve. And in Revelation we read about, and in Daniel, about dwelling with God again. And in the middle is this gross sandwich innard that is a broken world, but still with beauty, if you notice. While we're here, keeping our eye on how it was meant to be and how it will be is where true riches come from. And Jesus did his absolute best, which was perfect, to show us exactly what that might look like. Joyful, content, peaceful, always going to his Father, fully dependent on the Father for every piece of direction, every step that he was to take, including stepping onto that cross, getting nailed to it, being humiliated and spat at, knowing that even in that hard, beauty would come from it, and true joy and true riches would follow. Isn't that what we're called to? To die to self and all the things that we think this life is about. Pick up our cross, follow him. So why don't we do that? What's holding us back? A point of reflection for you in prayer. What's holding you back from simply jumping full cannonball into the center of the Jesus pond? Man, could you imagine the world that would result from everyone who claimed the name of Christ stepping into a full-on, full-bore, full-court press obedience to God's call on us? It'd be gorgeous. It'd be hard to deny that something was different about this Jesus that would draw people in, the gospel would be shared, and the family of God would grow. Just imagine. Guys, I'm Greg Dean with the Joyful Giving Podcast.